Hello everyone, my name is Chad Muller. I'm a dealer for Daytona 1. And today here with Nick Hoff with Hard Charger Performance Specialties. And he's been a dealer for us for about a year. He builds a wide range of motors and stuff up here in City, Montana. So Nick, since you became a dealer and working with the Daytona 1 products, what have you noticed different that you've seen in your operation by using Daytona 1?
So the main trouble I was having was I needed to figure out how to make flat tappet cams live through break-in. Just was trying to figure out what I needed to do and needed to find an oil, and I started talking with you guys and we started using your break-in oil and your assembly lube and have not had one issue since. So we tested a lot with it and just found that the oil just really decreases the wear in the whole system.
You know, when you say decreases the wear, could you explain to me, like when you get done getting a motor put together, you know, you used our assembly lube, and then you're going to go into the break-in process, and kind of tell me a little bit of what your process is, and you know, kind of explain to them what you see in the difference when you go through that process.
Well, when I started using it, they told me that the assembly lube needed to be used very sparsely, and you know, we don't have a easy time using oils or greases very sparsely. So I tried my best to use it in the way that I was told. So I put a very thin layer, because it's an oily substance, it's not a grease. I put a very thin layer on there and took a flyer really that it would work, and I have seen so little wear during a cam break-in and an initial piston ring, seating, everything. The wear is very minimal. Not seeing anything in the filters. We're seeing very little on the magnet on the oil pan when we drain the oil. And I know that's, you know, that can be a lot of things, but it was significant, the difference that I saw.
You know, when you were having issues with your flat tap and stuff, and you know, since you've been using the Daytona 1 stuff, how does it feel to be able to have a little bit more confidence knowing that, you know, I can do this and we're going to put it on the dyno and we're not going to have any problems?
It feels really good. I've been very confident in it, and I've had other parties buy the oil from me and use it in their own builds outside of my control, and they've had great success too. So all that piled up on me, and I just thought, this stuff is real. This stuff really does what they say it does. That's in everything. It's just integrity.
Yeah.
If they tell you that it's going to work a certain way and it does, I mean, you got to believe in it.
Right. And that's the thing. And what I've told, you know, all my customers and my dealers, I said, you know, the more that you get to work with any of our products. I mean, you know, we have a wide range of products, but you start having fun with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when you start having fun with something, you get confidence with it. And then next thing you know, it's just, you know, your flat tappet problems are something that you really don't worry about as much anymore.
Right. Yep.
And I suppose, you know, that also helps you be able to get more motors out, helps you with your production, saves time.
It saves time in the break-in, it saves time in the dyno room, it saves time everywhere when you can confidently get things going.
Yep.
And like using the break-in oil, that stuff is incredible. It seats the pistons so well, seats the piston rings so well, and like I said, it protects the cam through break-in. And I use more of the break-in lube than the break-in oil than anything, because that's everything that goes on the dyno. A new build has to get broke in.
Sure.
So we put the break-in oil in it.
Yeah. So, you know, and when we talk to our customers and even our dealers and stuff like that, you know, we tell them about, you know, the defrictionators that we have in our products and stuff like that. And just knowing that, you know, when you talk to a customer saying, hey, if you want an extra layer of protection, you know, even if they use a different oil, you know, we have our engine treatment. You know, especially some of these guys are really, you know, abusing their stuff because they, you know, it's racing or it's some kind of, you know, motorsports, and you're gonna give it everything you got.
Yep.
You know, as far as that, you know, I mean, have you had, you know, good rapport with your customers as far as reliability?
So there's a lot of customers that are like, I have good oil, or I get oil. That's the big thing I run into. Oh, I already got an oil deal. Oh, that's great. Fine. I'm not here to talk you out of your oil deal or make you spend any money here, but I do think you should put this XL1 in with your oil, because that will add all the protection, and I've seen it work.
Right.
You know, I've seen engines run without oil with that in it, and it works.
Yeah.
It helps. It
Well,
protects.
And that's the competence of you know, for me, you know, being a regional rep and dealer, being able to work with my customers and get these great stories that we get feedback from our customers and stuff like that, and being able to help our customers and the racer, you know, save money and save time. That's been huge for all of us, and I love getting the stories from all our customers. Now, Nick was talking about, you know, our semi-lube, and here it is. It's just a little bottle, and
You don't need a lot, so it can be in a little bottle.
right, and we call it the one drop challenge. We have a machine that we can show where, and we just put one drop on the rotating surface and one on the stationary surface, and it works from as soon as you turn it on. So that is huge, especially like you said, when you're put a motor together.
Well, you did that challenge
Yep.
with the oil that I still use. The same tube of oil that I still have used. I haven't even gone through the first tube yet.
Right
I
on.
still use that one, and you tested it with that.
Yeah, well, and okay, so you know this here is a you know, a little 3-4 ounce bottle. How many motors have you been able to put together using a semi-lube?
You know, I don't build a ton of motors, but I've probably put at least 10 engines together with that,
Okay.
flat tappet engines together with that lube, and loaned it out and let somebody else,
Right.
other people use it.
Right
And,
on.
I mean, it works exactly like they say it will. You don't use a lot, and it goes a long way.
Right on. So it must be nice to be able to, you know, work on a project and not have excess of, you know, other oils or lubricants or semi-lubes.
Yeah, I mean, you get rid of the gray moly grease, you get rid of that one. You don't have to have that anymore. It's not slopped all over, plugging up your oil filters or all those kind of things. It's just an oil that bonds with the surface and it does what it says it's supposed to do.
Yeah. So this is.
And you use that break-in oil with it.
Yeah, and so, you know, this is our semi-lube. It's infused with graphene and stuff like that for extra protection. Like I said, using less saves you on product, and also saves you on time on cleaning up and you know, using excess. The engine's assembled, and then you just talked about the break-in oil. This is our 1540 break-in oil, and it's specifically made to help motors get the ring seated and just help the break-in process with it. It's a very high quality oil, and you know, when you've switched over to this oil compared to using other break-in oils, what was the biggest thing that you noticed as far as, you know, the process after the assembly?
Just less stuff in the pan when we got done. It's very clean. It keeps everything in suspension and gets it to the filter, and it doesn't leave it laying in the pan. It's a good oil.
Right on.
It's a great oil.
So have you ever had to, you know, got it off the dyno and you drained it, and then have you looked in the oil pan? And
I've had the oil pans off of engines. Like I said, there's nothing on the magnet. There's so little on the magnet, and I've had to pull an oil pan off an engine to fix a leak or whatever, and there's nothing in the pan.
Okay.
It's just a really good product.
So,
And I don't know enough about oil to tell you exactly what it does, but I know that it works better than oil I've used in the past.
right.
break-in oil.
So, you know, knowing that, like I said, you know that, you know, your engines are cleaner because you had to take them apart, you know, to fix a leak or whatever it may be. Knowing that you're putting it back together and everything is that clean, that's got to give you a lot of confidence saying, hey, you know, when my customer gets this, it's going to be pretty awesome.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it's a good product. It's an incredible product.
And then, you know, then what we do is, you know, we also have our XL1, and we have our own motor oils, which has our own additives, and XL1 is one of them. And like Nick was saying, you know, if you're a person that has a different oil, you know, we can help you. You know, in racing applications, it's 2 ounces per quart. In your normal everyday driver, I don't care if it's a toter, diesel, gas, your daily driver, you know, mom's car, whatever, 1 ounce per quart. It gives you the extra added protection that will help you get down the road.
Don't put this in if you're trying to break in your piston rings or seat your piston rings. That will not help in that situation.
Yeah.
Put that in after that's all done.
Right on. Yeah. So yeah, stay away
It's
from this.
slippery.
Yeah. Keep the XL1 out until your motor is fully broken in. But like I said, with the products that we have, we try to serve and help every customers, and we've had great success with a lot of good feedback from many customers from all over the United States. But
And I'm sold, and I'm trying to get every customer I have to move on to that oil because it works.
Right on. So with that, like I said, I appreciate, Nick letting us come here today. We did some dyno work with him, had some good results. For anybody that's looking to have somebody work on engines or anything, trannies, rear ends, whatever you may need.
Well, if you're curious and want to know more about it, want to talk to somebody that has experience with it, I'm here.
Yeah, give Nick a call. He'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. So with that, you guys have a good day, and we'll catch up with you later.
Thank you.